We have an important story coming out of Florida, so guys, pay attention. 18-year-old Giovanni Pelletier goes missing after taking a family trip to South Florida. He's originally from North Carolina. According to Giovanni's mother, she said they took a trip together. She, her fiance, oldest son, Giovanni, and 4 other siblings. They had several reasons for going down there, but one of them being Giovanni wanting to get to know his father's side of the family. His father, who was incarcerated, wouldn't be there, but he would meet a few other family members, like 3 of his cousins. According to sources, they arrived in Florida at the end of July, and he had plans to meet up on the last few days of his vacationing there with those 3 cousins, and that was on August 1st. The mom wasn't too certain about letting him hang out with them, but he wanted to know his culture, get to know these people a little better, and she wanted to give him that right. At around 1:30 a.m. in the morning, they were originally staying in Englewood, but he was heading to Mims. There, he would get in contact with his dad's father, his grandfather. According to family, these plans were for him to hang out with the family members. Then they pick him up and head back home to North Carolina. After the cousins pick him up that 1:30 a.m. August 1st, it wasn't even 30 minutes later when he sends this alarming text to his mom, who was sleeping at the time. The text read, "Mom, help." It's not until about 4.5 hours later that she wakes up that morning around 6:20 and discovers those horrifying texts. She then discovered that there was a call from her son. There was a few calls, one at 1:56 and one at 1:57 a.m. of August 1st. As she looked further, she noticed there was another phone call, and it was from one of the cousins that Giovanni was supposed to be with at the time. Whereas Giovanni's text and phone calls were about 30 minutes after they picked him up at 1:30, this call from the cousin showed up about an hour later. This is concerning based off the first story that they told them, is they picked Giovanni up, that they smoked marijuana. After that, Giovanni actually started panicking, and at that point pulled out a knife, in which they let him out on the side of the road. So that phone call from the cousin was kind of odd because he only called once. She said, "He only called me that one time," Bridget continued, "and there was no effort made to communicate with me. No effort was made to come back to the house and let me know." She said that she immediately contacted the authorities that day. And since then, the investigation's been kind of going slowly and slower than she expected. Since this time, she's discovered that there's been several different versions of what happened that night from the cousins and their family. So now it had gone from he just panicked and got out of the car to he started cussing the cousins out and threatened them. This created a confrontation where they had to take the knife away from him. Then they claimed that her son took off running. Now, I've not been able to find out exactly. There's been different versions of how they located Giovanni's backpack and his phone, and they were discovered on the total opposite side of the state of the direction they were going in Bradenton, instead of Mims, which would have been 3-hour drive from Englewood. So if you look at this map right here, you can see Englewood. You can see where Mims is to the right there, and where Bradenton is. It's way over there to the left. Absolutely makes no sense. If the cousins said that they were heading to Mims, then why is his stuff in Bradenton? If he was on foot, how is it on foot where they drop him off on I-70, he can be there just hours later? Now, Bridget said that she got a voicemail from the grandfather on the dad's side alleging that they had been in some sort of altercation, and it was between her son and the cousins. This altercation caused them to leave him on the side of the road in Bradenton, guys. He further told her that he didn't have all the information, but if she found Giovanni, to let him know. So here you go. His backpack, his phone's discovered here, but they don't discover Giovanni. So here's an update. So how they discovered where his phone and backpack was is they were able to follow the GPS signal on his phone. She further claimed that he eats, sleeps, and showers with that phone. That is not like him to be without his phone. Bridget also believes the cousins haven't told her the entire story and claimed that none of them have helped her in the search or aid whatsoever to find Giovanni. And this search has actually spanned from Charlotte to Brevard counties. This family has been searching for about 8 days, and they have searched a combined area of around 1,700 square miles. Still, no sign of Giovanni. And I'll have to agree with her that this story that the cousins are putting out there just doesn't make sense. What I have wondered is if possibly these people, as far as we know, have never met. They were meeting the first time. They were excited about meeting one another. They come all the way from Men's to pick them up. The grandfather is excited about meeting him. He's looking forward to it, it seems. And we have these clues. The boy said that they got high. He started panicking. Erratic behavior. They mention a knife, but we're wondering if that was just a way to try to make it look as if maybe they were threatened if they find something later. This is just speculation. But what I was wondering if maybe, perhaps, the boys, give these drugs to Giovanni. He's not used to that kind of thing, and it affected him in some way. Could it have made him very ill, possibly taken his life? Did they panic about that and do the wrong thing? And I hope that's not the case, but there's several things we could speculate about. It could go as they said. They let him go on the side of the road, but the evidence doesn't seem to add up for that. I hope if it was an accident, these boys come forward, because that'd be the best thing they can do. And the police will absolutely work with them if it was an accident. So the other clue is they said that they wrestled with a knife that Giovanni had. They were able to wrestle it away from him. And she says this is completely out of character for her son, and I believe her. When she mentioned that the dad was incarcerated, that kind of raised red flags, and I would have been worried about him going to visit that family as well. The family does have a GoFundMe right now. If you would like to help this family search, as you know, they're out of state. It's expensive. It's not cheap to eat anymore, especially in Florida. It's like double what it is in other places. So if you can give $1 or whatever you can give, I'm sure it'd be helpful to this family. Something that surprises me is that I am aware of, the mother used her phone to track his phone. Do police have his phone? Did they get a search warrant for the cousin's phone? Because everybody knows the quicker you get on something like this, the better. The mom is concerned about a lackluster investigation. So we can only hope that's not the case, because a lot of times when they investigate, they don't tell you everything because they don't want to sacrifice anything or any hope of finding her son. Hopefully, she has a good group of investigators that understand how quick they need to get on this, and they need to work as hard as they can, because most times you don't have just a couple of hours to start searching when somebody goes missing. The first 48 hours are the most crucial. But here we are, 8 days later, and the family's still trying to find the missing 18-year-old Giovanni. I don't know about you guys, but I want to continue to follow this story because this one captured my heart, and I feel like the family needs, everyone's support behind them. Hopefully, Giovanni comes home safely. Thank you guys for watching. Please share this video, and I'll see you guys soon, and I'll do some updates on this later today.